with that distinctly autumnal feel in the air. It is long sleeves on, new gilet at the ready, and more things we can still be getting out in the ground. Despite the fact that it is definitely getting into autumn time and our temperatures are dropping, I still have things that I need to get out into the ground. Now, I've actually sown an awful lot of things in the greenhouse about 2-3 weeks ago, and these include my radishes and some more of my pak choi. Now, because they have already grown, they are going to go into the ground. However, as I was talking about last week in terms of our bugs and our critters, which are still around at this time of year, we do have a bit of an issue with flea beetle. Now, flea beetle usually comes around a bit earlier in the year, but they're definitely still around. So what I'm going to do is, after I've actually put these and planted them into these raised beds, I am going to net them over. Now, something that I definitely needed to do here, which was where my carrots were, they've all been harvested, they've come up, is I had to raise the soil levels. I had a really interesting question at one of the gardening talks I do a couple of weeks ago in terms of our no-dig gardening. And is it a fact that our levels just keep on rising? And actually it isn't, because what happens is our worms get into action, they sort of pull the soil down, and actually quite naturally it compacts down as well. So just filling these up almost to the top for this year, and it does mean that I will have to do the same next year. And certainly looking at my artichoke beds, I can see they also quite desperately need replenishing, and thinking that they were to the top, they have sunk right the way down. So to start off with, I have some of my beautiful mooli radish here, and I also have some of Lungo Rosso radish, which are these really nice long red ones. Now, these will still be grown at this time of year. They're quite tolerant to fairly lowish temperatures, and we're thinking sort of the differences at the moment between our daytime temperatures and our nighttime temperatures is around 8 degrees. We are also seeing a little bit of sign of some frost, so these will be fine in the ground in this fairly sheltered area. But what I'm also going to be doing after I've actually got these in the ground is I'm going to be direct sowing, but I'm definitely going to have to do something different with those, because in order for that germination to happen, they're going to need a little bit of heat. So to start off with, I'm going to get these beautiful babies in the ground, and then I'm going to get on with some direct sowing in September. So now that my really quite well developed seedlings are actually in the ground and they have the cloches over the top to protect them from any of those bugs, I am going to direct sow. And again, I have got some more of my radishes, which I absolutely love, and there's such amazing varieties, and some beautiful pak choi as well. So very simply, because I've already topped these beds off, I'm just, as I normally would, just going to sort of make drills with my hand in the soil so that I can then direct sow. However, when it comes to covering these up, because we have those variations in temperature at the moment, I need something which is going to help to keep them warm when we are going into those nighttime temperatures. Now, ideally, what I would have loved to have got hold of, but they seem to be like hen's teeth at the moment, are actually the long line cloches with that polythene covering. You can obviously, and I have got some of the hoops, and get some of the polythene separately. What I find, because I am time poor, is I don't often lift them. They're a bit more of a faff because you've got to peg them together, then they get weedy or they need watering, and I just don't actually lift them. So that may be a me problem, but it's certainly something that we have to consider. What I have been able to get hold of are these bell cloches. Now, this is quite good in terms of our height, and we're thinking that maybe our pak choi, if we're lucky, we'll get some nice height on them, but they're quite flimsy. Now, they do actually come with these pegs, which are going to be really, really important, because this time of year we do have lots of the wind building up. So all I'm going to do is just direct sow by peppering, as I normally would, my beautiful seeds into this area. And I'm going to have to think about the fact that these cloches are circular rather than long, and I don't want to be sowing outside of where the cloches are going to go. So I'm just putting that next to where I'm sowing my seeds, so that I'm going to get them just about in the right place. So a slightly different way of, rather than just in a whole line, just making sure that they are in the right areas. So again, similarly, just pulling those over. I will water them in, but just for purposes of demonstration, just going to pop that over the top and make sure that these pegs are going into the hole. Now we are actually due some quite heavy winds at this time of year, so I'm not particularly certain these aren't going to fly away, so time will tell, and if they do fly away, I'll have to see if I can find somewhere else to get those long polythene cloches, which I really actually wanted. Now again, because we have got some quite warm temperatures during the day, I am going to just half close the vents at the top of this so that they're not going to sweat, those seeds aren't going to rot underneath this, and actually it just should mean that I'm going to have a little bit of successional growing going on here underneath the netting. We should get some really good crops coming through, and then underneath these cloches, once those ones have been harvested, I should have some more ready to go, and trying to elongate the season as much as possible.